Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. On this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney. Quick note. This is the second video I have made since installing noise deadening material around my computer fans, and hopefully you will tell me that that has reduced the high-pitched whistle that people were hearing on cell phones when they were listening to the videos on cell phones. Please let me know. Also, let me know if my volume is high enough, if the pickup is enough. This audio, I'm really trying to zero in the audio here for y'all. The quality audio is not the core offering of this channel, but it matters. It matters because you got to listen, right? And listening, if it's annoying, is you're gonna be less likely to listen. So I understand. I want to get right. We have a question here from YouTube user Respectfully Truthful, who says, my relationship with my employment attorney has evolved over the last 2 years. I've learned that for attorneys, time is truly money. Facts. A simple email could constitute time taken away from other clients. Facts. My attorney set a boundary that they would not review any more documents without being compensated. Whoa. Questions. Right off the bat. Let's finish reading the question before I get into my questions. So my attorney set a boundary saying that they would not review any more documents without being compensated, so I sent additional funds and expressed gratitude for all the time and sacrifice made by the attorney. I also created shared electronic folders and made my emails more succinct. Unlike this comment. No, I think your comment's great. My point, employment attorneys won't last if they are softies. If one wants to share personal trauma, it's best to get a therapist. Okay. Facts. Yeah. So, listen. In our firm, that is a phrase, listen, I'm not your therapist. I'm not trained to be your therapist. I'm not well suited to being your therapist. I'm your attorney. I represent you. I fight for you. I'm not here for your well-being is an important conversation. But it is a wildly upsetting conversation for clients to hear. Because, listen, there's a lot of times where clients have a tough time finding somebody to really, really believe. And when they find somebody who really believes and who really, puts their money where their mouth is and is going to put time and resources into the case and fight for them, the client then says, great, I can unshoulder my burden and just give it to you, my attorney, and I will feel better. And that's partially true. They can unshoulder the burden of the fight, about 90% of it, maybe 95% of it. But they can't unshoulder the trauma, right? The transition of the fight can efficiently be accomplished. Here's everything that happened. Here's all the evidence. Here's everything, right? You now have it all. I'm here. I'm available to answer questions. I'm available to discuss settlement strategy. I'm available to say yes or no to settlement offers. I'll appear and testify as needed, but, you have everything now. Great. The fight has been transitioned. The burden of the fight has been given to the attorney. Fantastic. The goal of hiring representation, legal representation, has been achieved. The next goal is, of course, to win money through either victory or settlement. But often, there's a desire, very common, to want to also pass on the burden of the trauma. And that cannot be efficiently accomplished. You know this. This is why therapists and mental health professionals bill by the hour or by the session, right? Because it's going to take a lot of both sessions and hours to get that trauma digested, broken down into manageable chunks, processed to get it to a state where you can live with it. And guess what? Your attorney? Well, if you think about the kind of person who becomes a mental health professional, what are some traits you might think they have? Caring, nurturing. Okay, great suggestions. Do you have any? Comment down below if you've got more thoughts. What kind of traits do you think an employment attorney has? somebody who opts into an industry where they only get paid if they win. Only get paid if they win. They actually lose money out of their own pocket, or at least out of their firm's pocket, if they lose. What kind of person gets into that industry? Well, they're risk prone. They're comfortable with risk. They're aggressive. They've got to be self-confident because they're essentially betting on themselves every single day. Every single day of their career, they're betting on themselves. Yeah. Conflict-oriented. Yeah. Hopefully detail-oriented, but I don't think you're going to have nurturing on the list. I don't think you're going to have caring on the list, right? These are the people you hire to snarl into the void on your behalf. To rage against the dying of your claims. To rip money from the carcass of your enemies and turn to you and say, here you go. You get most of this, right? Is that the correct person to counsel you through your trauma? I would offer no. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. That being said, the conversation about, hey, we're not your therapist, it's hard. It's super hard on people, on clients, not really on attorneys. We actually, we have to have conversations internally before people say that here to their clients, because attorneys will just be like, I'm not your effing therapist. And you're like, whoa, whoa, you work for that person. What do you do? We didn't have to go that hard. That's not how we do that, right? There's a way to do that. Like, hey, I feel like I'm failing you. I don't really have the training or the disposition or the time to really meet your needs in terms of what you seem to be seeking in these conversations. And I do think a mental health professional might meet that bill a little better for you, right? That's the way to have that conversation. The way that you definitely should not have that conversation as an attorney is, hey, thanks for the facts in the case. You're talking a lot, and I'm not your therapist here. So like, maybe call your friends, family, something, a support structure, like something, anybody, not me. If you got something for the case, though, I'm here. That is not the way to have that conversation, and that is routinely how I witness attorneys. Not at this firm, because we train. We train around that. We take steps to avoid it, but pretty routinely, just, oh yeah, no, not your therapist. You get the fuck off the phone, right? Like, I've seen people do that. I have worked at firms where people behave that way. Good firms where they make people money, where they help people, right? But boy, oh boy, not how you do that, right? But respectfully truthful, I do want to go back to something here. You said my attorney set a boundary that they would not review any more documents without being compensated. Now listen, I don't know what your attorney was representing you in, and I don't know what your arrangement with your attorney was. But if you were in an employment case and your attorney was working a contingency, my question for you would be this. Were those documents related to your case? Because if your attorney is working a contingency in an employment discrimination or employment sexual harassment case, they should be thrilled, overjoyed, eager even, to review any document related to your case. Anything that could increase value or reduce risk in your case, the attorneys should jump at. If I caught an associate being like, listen, respectfully truthful, you've given me 30 documents, or 300, or 3,000, or 300,000, and I reviewed them all, but no more. My question would be, did you make it clear that you can still review related documents related to the case? Like, are there documents that are not related and documents that are related? Okay, great. Let's split those two. The documents that aren't related, if it's something separate, yeah, 100%. Separate retainer, you can bill for that. If you still want your attorney to review that, I get it. That's fine. It's related to the case. That attorney better sit the F down, get eyeballs on documents, and start looking for the money. Looking for the money and start reducing risk. That's the game. That's the job. That's how we get clients help. And in helping clients, that's how we get rich. Right? That's the game. That's what we do. So I'm very uncomfortable with this idea that they said, yeah, no more duckies. No more reviewed documents. We're not going to do it anymore. There better have been some kind of conversation about like, hey, I don't think these are relevant, or I don't think these are related. Might be a separate retainer for that. Fine. In that case, fine. But if it is related, if it's relevant, gotta do it. Gotta review. Listen, and if you're the attorney and you're buried under the volume of doc review on your case, but it's all valid, great. Let your firm know. Bring in additional resources. More associates to review. Let's go. Right? That's how that's done. The answer is not, we're going to go with what we've got. This other stuff is probably relevant, but we're going to go with what we've got. No. Bad associate. You work until it's done. Right? That's the game. Anyways. Respectfully truthful. Love your comment. I hope everything's great. Agree strongly with 90% of what you said here. Just that one sentence that I was like, well, I've got questions. Do you folks have similar experiences with their attorneys? I'd love to hear about that down below. If this was helpful, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Share the channel so it can grow. Take care, everyone.